Ta-da!
Ta-da-da!
Welcome to Comic Book Wednesdays, a weekly series where three idiots talk about comic books. We're your
Yeah.
hosts. I'm Ian,
I'm Al.
And I'm Shane.
and we're finishing up Secret Wars today with issues 7, 8, and 9 of Secret Wars. Yeah, buddy. We've been doing this since what? August last year?
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that.
So this has been a minute.
we gotta do something crazy for our year special. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we'll have to read the story where Batman's dick gets shown.
Whoa. I don't know if we're all ready for that one.
You will in a couple months.
There's only so much man I can handle from the bat.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm up for Bat Dick.
Alright, so how are we feeling? Now that we're finished Secret Wars, we've gotten to the end of our story. Do you feel like it lived up to what it was, or
Honestly, I can start. I felt like it was kind of. It was wild. Like it. There was a bit more climactic moments in some of the other issues and like lead up issues that we've read than this one. But I gotta give it to the fight scenes with this, because the fight scenes in this one and like how big they went for some of the things they did were really cool.
oh yeah, I mean, zombies, the Annihilation Wave, everything. They had everything. The Infinity Gauntlet. My guy
Who
Doom.
doesn't want zombies?
Who doesn't want my guy Doom?
It was a good couple episodes with all.
Oh,
Excuse me, with all that.
yeah. So like it's weird. So I'm reading the physical copies. Like I have a trade paperback version of Secret Wars that I've been using to read this, and
Mm-hmm.
in the book, every issue is labeled like it goes like 1 through 7, and then when it gets to 7, it stops labeling the issues. And I'm like, well, why y'all do that? Like,
That's weird.
yeah, like so I was like, wait,
It was very weird.
am I missing something? Like, what is happening? Um, no, they were
I wonder
just.
if that's. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say no. They're just being stupid. But what were you gonna say?
Maybe that's Marvel's way of being like, "Hey, are you still paying attention? There's a lot of time fuckery going on. We just want to make sure we're keeping your attention."
There's a lot of time fuckery going on. I don't know. Maybe it's just like because the last thing was supposed to feel more cohesive. I don't know. Maybe because it. I was looking at the app that we have, and like issue 8 starts up or issue 9 starts up in the middle of the fight with T'Challa and Doom. So like it would have
Mm-hmm.
been a weird break, but still,
Hmm.
I don't know.
Weird.
No, yeah, but I absolutely. So it's a little hard for me to say like what issue is what issue, just because it was all like one big chunk.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But do you guys have anything specific from the first one that you guys want to talk about?
I do want to talk about something that
Yeah.
really kind of weirded me out in like all across this whole set of comics of Secret War. The eyes are killing me, man. Like I took like 4 screenshots of different eyes, pictures of characters with eyes in this that were just like, what the hell is wrong with the artist in this comic?
He's either like he doesn't know how to do eyes, or he just like, fuck you guys, I'm gonna make this really
Like it was just like
simple.
crazy eyes the entire time.
Yeah,
It was really funny.
I love it. There was one I think I sent today of Val Richards. And his face is like, Wah!
Yeah.
There's once again a few of Thanos where it's like, dude, are you okay? Do you need help? Do you need a hug? What's going on?
Doom gave him a hug.
Oh, he did.
Doom was like, "Let me hug your spine, bitch."
God, that whole speech between the two of them, that was hilarious. You are a lesser god than I ever was. Okay,
Yeah.
Rip.
barks him.
Uh, yeah,
I,
that
I
was
gotta say, I enjoyed seeing Thanos get his spine ripped out. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that was
spine.
very deserved.
His spine ripped out and his innards just melted off the spine.
Yeah.
Just fucking great. This is a lot of cool moments.
Did you guys get that text that I just sent you of like Thor's eyes while he's like holding dog Thor? Like, what is wrong with them all?
As a
I have seen the face of God, and it is doom.
it's a doom face. Yeah, I also kind of felt like things escalated really quickly with these books. Like, just overall as a whole, like the Secret Wars, like the pacing was a little strange to me, and I
Well,
don't
I
know if
think that also has to do with we skipped like a ton of like side stuff, you know?
there are
Because
some.
so like I was talking to my buddy Eric at work about this and he's like if you don't read the tie-ins in Secret Wars, it's like really fucking short and like there's a lot of stuff that won't make sense. And I didn't think there was a ton that didn't make sense. It was
Yeah,
just like there was a lot of unexplained ends there, you know?
yeah. There's a lot. So like this battle world has a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of lore, a lot of history.
Like
Um,
the whole thing with Maximus being this pilgrim,
Prophet. Yeah,
like there's no explanation of where the pilgrim came from, why he's doing what he's doing. Like I think that's the stuff that we missed out on by not reading the tie-in books.
yeah. And maybe I'll go back and read them eventually. They're all there, but like I read some tie-ins, and I guess I didn't read the right tie-ins when I was like reading them weekly.
Right.
Because
Mhm.
I really felt like the what I read was like all side story. So I was like, man.
Okay.
But like, yeah, the whole prophet thing. I mean, he shows up and gets his shit pushed in.
Yeah. Like 100%. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was kind of weird to see like the villains and the heroes almost work together. Like it was like the Illuminati and the Cabal just on the same side, and it was kind of strange. But I guess you said like the tie-ins would have maybe explained it better.
There was a fun scene. I don't remember which book it was in that Mr. Sinister gets his head ripped off. Right? And
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
everybody's like, run! And Mr. Sinister's like, can't do that. It was just like, that was awesome.
Oh shit. Yeah. There is some cool shit. Oh, dude, I want to talk about one of the cool scenes. Ben Grimm fighting Franklin Richards and Galactus.
Yeah. I like the whole
That was
aspect
wild.
of him being like, oh, you're fucking Reed's son, and I'm not gonna hurt you, and just like gives up and lets, even though Franklin doesn't know that he's Reed's son and Ben's best friend's son, just like blasts him. It was sad, but it was cool.
It was really cool, like page to look at, but
Yeah.
damn, that was sad. Like they never really brought Johnny back, which I was surprised for. They never
I
because we're
thought they
Yeah,
were
I
going
felt like
to
they were
too.
leading onto that.
yeah, they show him for like a split second as the son while T'Challa and Doom are fighting, but that was like all we saw about him again. Even like at
Hmm.
the end of the book, like Ben and Johnny aren't with him. Um, it's just Sue and Reed and her kids, which I guess kind of makes sense. But like I was kind of still kind of like, oh, you know,
So the confusing aspect of it to me was like, so there was a lot going on at the end of that book. Like when I forget exactly how it happened, but like Molecule Man, like I guess what took Doom's power and like everything kind of goes back to normal with the Infinity Gauntlet is what it seemed like, right? But like,
Kind of,
Yeah.
so
yeah,
then
that's kind of the
like
impression I got.
we had Peter and Miles. They're in the same universe together now, right? Like,
Right.
so is it just one universe now, or is it multiple
So
different universes, or is that like something that's just explained later?
let's kind of go. Let's take a step back for a sec. So Doom and Reed are fighting, and
Hmm.
Molecule Man takes the side of Reed because he realizes that Reed could do the job better than Doom can. Great. We,
Okay.
we, we, we all agree on that. So like when that
Hmm.
happens, you know, he gives Reed the ability to control the Beyonder's power, and then now Reed can dismantle the current universe, which is the Battle World, and then make sure that, um, excuse me, make sure as the new universe can be set up, as our new multiverse can be set up. Now, what happens you see is T'Challa takes the Time Stone at the same time and uses it. Now, I don't know if the Time Stone does this or it's more Reed putting him back, but he kind of puts him back in the scenario we saw in the beginning, the very first issue of New Avengers, where he's
Yeah.
standing there, which was cool. Like, I like that a lot. Like, the fact that they can go back and that first issue, that's really neat. But I thought it was also
I really
confusing.
enjoyed that too.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. I was just agreeing with you.
Also, Shane, I'm kind of stuck where I'm at right now, and I can't really do anything about it, so I
You,
apologize.
you're
Uh,
stuck. What?
no, Minecraft wise, I have a curse where if I go towards Hell's base, I will summon a raid on Hell's base, so like I have to make
Oh shit.
yeah. Um, but that doesn't matter. Train of thought.
So it does set up a single universe, then,
It does.
correct?
Yeah,
Hmm.
well, it refers to the new Earth as Prime Earth rather than 616.
But we
So
still get a multiverse.
yeah, so that's what Reed is doing.
He's
Reed,
setting up the multiverse with Franklin when he's
yes,
making his little ball things and Reed's
yeah.
throwing them out into
His
time, I
hella
guess.
overpowered kids.
Franklin is creating universes, and he is tossing them into the ether, basically, and like making them.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is it Franklin? Remember, like Galactus is afraid of Franklin.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Excuse me.
I
Yeah, he's stupid powerful.
my Fantastic Four knowledge is very low, and so to see Franklin do all the things that he was doing, that whew, I have to wonder about the kid's morality.
No,
Well, he
he's
does
good.
kind of do a little insanity look almost at the end of I forget what episode it was, but like he kind of looked a little insane towards the end of one of the books. I
Yeah,
think it was
no, you're definitely right.
the scene where he was fighting Ben.
Well, yeah, he just blew his uncle in half.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, he didn't know he was doing that, but
yeah, he still killed somebody pretty easily though.
yeah, like without hesitation just fucking annihilated somebody, like that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it's really fucked up.
If you're trying to get back to your train of thought, I believe you were talking about how T'Challa was back where we saw him in New Avengers.
Yeah. I was trying to say like I don't know if it's necessarily the time stone that did it because at the same time the universe is being like blooped, you know.
Mhm.
So like maybe it was a mixture of both Reed with the Beyonder's power and the Time Stone, kind of putting them back to Wakanda in the beginning, which I really liked. I also liked the very end where like Reed gives Doom his face back. Like
Yeah,
that.
that was a cool scene, and Doom, and he was like super ecstatic about it. Like that was cool.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And then the lines where they talk about the end, he's like, he finally says everything lives because the whole time he was like everything dies, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So it leaves on a hopeful place. But yeah, oddly enough, the Fantastic Four aren't seen in comics for a while um, after this happens. And this, I think this was 2015, and I don't know if what was going on with the whole like movie landscape as far as the Fantastic Four were concerned at that point. I don't know if Fan Four Stick came
I'm
out.
sure that had something to do with it.
Yeah,
God, that
so
movie was trash.
yeah, it was really bad. But yeah, they canceled the Fantastic Four book for a little bit, and it took them a little for them to come back. And their excuse was Reed and Sue were off making universes and stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really do like how in that panel you have Reed talking to his kids, and he's like, for a while, he's like, I'm not Mr. Fantastic.
I'm just
I'm
dad.
not. I'm just dad.
Just that.
That was
Wholesome.
that was very very homey scene. Like
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, wholesome as hell.
yeah, the end of these books they were really good.
I liked it too. Is it make more sense now that you've kind of talked it over, Al?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and it's a shame that we're not continuing reading these because I'd like to find out who we actually have in this new universe and like what characters are survive and like it'd just be kind of cool to see what comes after that.
Yeah,
But
I'm not entirely sure, but I think for the most part, what it is 616 plus Miles Morales.
oh, that's it.
I think so, and I think Black Nick Fury also because movies. Um,
Well, we also get the Maker too, right? Like he's part of that.
I don't know if the Maker stays in the
Mm.
616. They got rid of a lot with the Ultimate Universe. There are a lot of characters who are like they just don't exist anymore, and I don't know if they've ever kind of went back to them or not. But I know
Right.
for a little bit it was just 616 stuff, you know.
Well, one of the things that I wanted to talk about that like really surprised me throughout these, and I just wanted to say this before I forget, is when Star Lord, the fight with Star Lord and Black Swan,
Oh, that was
and how
so cool.
yeah,
I
and how
forgot
Star Lord
about
was
that.
just like, nope, don't try it, don't try it, and then just Groot bursts out of everything like that. I'm probably going to use when I put the link up on Instagram. I'm probably going to use that image.
The Iron Groot. Yeah. Did
Hmm.
I'm sure you weren't expecting Groot to be the World Tree.
No,
Kinda did, but kinda not at the same point. Like I had a
I was caught
sneaking
off guard.
suspicion.
Uh, and then that means a little bit more to me with after watching Guardians, just because Guardians. But let's see, any other parts that I want to specifically talk about? There's so many
I'm
cool
going through my notes
moments.
and I just see him holding Thanos' spine. That, again, Al, I'm glad you brought that up because that was such a great scene.
Dude, that was awesome.
Oh, like I love how they use the Infinity Gauntlet on Doom. Doom turns to like a solid metal. Namor throws his trident through him, breaks it, and Doom reforms as this like liquid metal and like
Yeah,
turns
that was
solid
wild.
again. And he's just like that hurt.
He like Terminator 2'd himself.
Yes, he was like a Terminator 2. That's exactly what it looked like. The Mephisto or not sure I'm saying
Dude,
it
he
right.
got stomped too. Maestro, right?
Maestro, yeah,
Maestro.
he shows up on the helicarrier with a bunch of Hulks, um, and then the Ben Grimm's just like bah, blows up the
Smashes the
whole.
helicopter.
Yeah,
Once again, leading to the faces, because that whole interaction was really cool. Then we have a salami, Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, the faces, like all
Oh
the
yeah,
art.
no. Fucking the maker's gone. That right there. I forgot about that.
yeah. The Maker gets
Salamified.
salamified. He's being served on fucking long roll.
That just sounds good. I don't think it would taste good, but it sounds good.
No, so many cool moments. And I love how like at the end of the day, it really just
Oh.
came to like a fist fight between Doom and Reed. He's like, "You just fucking stole my family, you prick!" Like, coming after
And
you.
Doom didn't really have like a good answer. He was just
No,
like,
he
"I
did.
made
He
it
was like, yeah, I
better."
did. You're right.
I mean, Doom admits he thinks Reed can do it better. Like, what is there to like even say at that point?
I am glad that we had that fight because I was waiting as to how that would like interact, and you had like one of their kids. My apologies, I forget her name. It was the daughter
Oh
who was
yeah.
trying to explain everything to Sue, and Reed just shows up, looks at everything, just like acknowledges them, and then just continues on. Like I have to wonder going through his head at that moment where he just saw everything and is like, "I'm gonna come back to this clusterfuck here in a minute."
Yeah, I'm very bad. uh, yeah, it's interesting to see to where this all went. Like, it was like this dark, foreboding thing, and now there's like life and hope. And I kind of agree with you, Al. I would love to continue to read. Maybe I will on my own, just kind of see where they're
Yeah.
going. But
Well, I
like,
mean,
yeah,
I'd like to find out like what happens with the X-Men, what happens with like the Inhumans, and like I think there'd be a lot of good story that comes out of this that I may never find out, but I might. I don't know.
yeah, you might. But who knows? I mean, you have access to all the issues. There
Yeah.
might be a specific story that you find interesting. You jump into that.
My problem is I never know where to start. You know what I mean? So like it's
Yeah.
hard to pick up after. Like, is there an X-Men line that comes after this whole event happens?
I'm not entirely sure.
Is that
Little
something
Goog-
you can just Google and find out? Like
probably.
I don't know.
You could probably you. I would Google like what X Men books were coming out the year that this released, and then like
Okay.
figure out like when Secret Wars ended, and like what was the next thing. You know?
Right. Because I mean, there's got to be some other like really cool stuff that came from that, right? Like,
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, they reset their universe, so it was like a
right.
universe reset.
I'm really surprised they didn't have like Hickman do a fucking like tie-in book that explained everything that happened. You know what I mean? Like as
Almost
far
like
for the other
an encyclopedia type issue.
right. Like this is what happened with all the other groups of heroes or villains or whatever. You know what I mean? Because I mean, like if you're if you're Reed Richards, are you pulling all the villains back?
That is a good point.
Yeah, he is.
Just because of the person that he is. But, like, would everybody else do that?
No, and that's why.
I'm surprised he gave Doom back his face. Now that you mention that.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Me, if I was Reed, I'd be making everything the way it was, you know.
Right.
But
But the
he
thing is, like,
obviously.
they're people too. Like, they have families. They have as terrible of people they are. They're still have
And,
some uh,
and
value to the world.
right, true. And then the question I'm gonna pose to you is, um, does Reed reset everything back to right before the first incursion happens? Is that why we see T'Challa where he's at? Because that's right before the whole thing happens. The
I don't know.
first incursion happens right after that scene, and then those people die. The astronauts,
Yeah.
they all die because of the incursion, because Black Swan were people. So like those of the events you're seeing then are the, I guess, the events of how they were going to happen without the Beyonder interference. So maybe that's like Reed just kind of like, I'm just gonna reset this thing. All the events of those Avengers books don't happen now because of this. So I guess like Cap and Tony are in a good place. I'm curious to see if Cap is old.
Ooh.
Yeah. And and pardon me because I don't really remember. Is Wakanda's not gone at that point neither, right?
Right, Wakanda doesn't get really like effed until like at first initially when Thanos comes to Earth during the
So
Infinity Book,
we
and
also
then
don't have like miserable Black Panther and the fight between Black Panther and Namor yet.
right, exactly, that's all gone. But because of the Infinity Stone, does T'Challa remember? Because he seemed to like be like, yes, like it worked, type thing.
Right.
I
Interesting.
think that was why he grabbed that because I don't know. I just have this. I had this thought of like him doing that. There is a reason he wanted to remember. Whether that's to start up the blood feud again and go after Namor, or
See,
he,
go
I don't
ahead.
know.
Sorry. I
No,
feel
no, it's
like
all good.
I kind of like my perspective of Chitalo is like he's over that whole blood feud. Like, yeah, his people died, but they were from a different world. And those people aren't the people that he has to care for now. So, like, why continue the blood feud? You know what I mean?
That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
that's also a good point. I mean, I guess for me, I just thought that it might continue based on the fact that getting those two to resolve themselves or to agree on anything just seems. It seems like one of them is going to start something no matter what.
Yeah,
And
but
so
you
there's that
also
part of me
have
that's like
growth.
waiting to see what's going to happen.
You also have growth that we haven't seen from Namor. Like, yeah, he was
Very true.
being Namor-esque. I say that in a way because he kind of reminds me of my brother-in-law. Where he has this like strange personality where like he wants to be funny but he's kind of a dick about it.
Hmm.
So like, and you haven't quite seen the growth of Namor that okay, maybe he feels somewhat the same way as T'Challa where he doesn't want to lose his people again. We don't know, we'll never know, or we might, but
I don't think he wants to lose his people again. Um, remember, all he was doing was they were like fucking bouncing off each other as far as like, you screwed me.
Yeah, so
that
I'm gonna
attitude.
screw you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that I don't think we're gonna see much more Wakanda, at least not right off the bat, because they seem to always be fighting Wakanda Atlantis feud.
Yeah, they are the sibling rivalry of which nation has it tougher.
Basically. Like they're always trying to one up each other with hardship. Uh, yeah, no, I was I'm happy that we were able to go through all of Secret Wars. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I know
Oh, I
there's
definitely
Oh,
did.
definitely.
yeah, and I can't wait now. I kind of ruined y'all like when it comes to the Fantastic Four and the MCU. Like you're like I'm fully expecting all this shit, and then it's not gonna
Yeah, I'm really
happen.
not thrilled yet with their choices so far.
Ian
I
admitted you just
am.
wanted us to suffer so you didn't have to suffer alone.
Thanks,
Yeah.
bud. You
Yeah, well,
fucking dick. Like, I really am not happy with the choice of Mr. Fantastic. It's
yeah.
not fair.
Pretty
I
sure
just want to cry and scream like a little child, but
it's all
Did
but
they announce who
confirmed.
it was going to be?
It's not
it's Adam
officially.
Driver.
Yeah, they
What?
haven't officially announced it, but Adam Driver is playing Reed Richards.
Whiny boy Kylo Ren is going to be Mr. Calm and Collected, cool Mr. Fantastic.
I've
Bullshit, I don't see it.
I've seen him do like other roles where he's nothing like he is in Star Wars. Um, so like the guy can act.
I know, but and it's I have a biased opinion of the guy because I have such a bad taste in my mouth from Disney.
Mhm.
But I can't. I don't see it. I can't get by it.
That's fair. I'm gonna reserve judgment until I see it, just because like I've seen him in other things, and I was like, okay, the guy can do other things than just Kylo Ren. So
I
I'll
really
at
hope
least
I'm
say I would have
pleasantly
been happier
surprised.
with John Krasinski.
100%, 1,000% would have been happier with that.
I had the feeling he didn't want to do it.
Oh no, there's interviews of him full
Yeah,
on. You
he's
know,
got it. He did it already though. You know.
they didn't give him a fair shot at that. There was no fair shake there.
Yeah. Was that so? I remember you guys had told me that because of COVID and because of everything that was going on, um, he had to like record outside of like without being in the movie itself. He had to record separately. Is that correct?
Yeah, he did everything over like video call, basically.
Right. Like, I mean, if he had gotten, I don't know, dude. Like, they put him on screen for like 30 seconds and gave him really shitty writing. Like,
You can't
hey,
even say it was
here,
shitty writing.
Wanda, this is how you kill Black Bolt. Like,
Yeah, true.
really? I
True.
mean, like, the smartest man in the world is going to tell you how to kill his most powerful weapon? I don't think so. That's why I called it crappy writing. But,
I get what you're saying.
like, I don't think they gave him a fair shot.
No, I kind of agree with you too. Like he didn't have a fair shake at it, but at the same sense, like I don't know if they loved either if he wanted to stay or if they loved him, like he would have been there. And I don't quite get why you wouldn't have loved his role. I thought he did a fantastic
I mean,
job.
he might have had a bad taste in his mouth about it. Like,
True.
they kind of dicked him.
Right. And who knows, maybe there is a lot left on the cutting room floor that he didn't want.
Yeah. I mean, I thought in the 30 seconds he was fucking amazing. Other than the bad writing that he had, but that's not really his fault.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people on the internet who were like, he didn't do a good job. Like,
Yeah, I know. I
people
don't
are like,
know why they're saying that, but I mean, I'm not an actor either, so
Yeah. No, I got you. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But like, we'll see how Adam does. I don't know who else they're casting for the rest of the movie, but that's a. I don't think that's next year. It's the following. I think it's 2025, right? Who knows now? But
for Fantastic Four, yeah, I believe it's 2025.
yeah, so it's got a little bit of time. Yeah, I think we're gonna start ranting about the MCU. Maybe we should wrap things up here. But so
you might
There's
not be
plenty of
wrong.
time to talk about that later.
yeah, so um, Secret Wars is done. So we're done. Jonathan Hickman's epic. Um, we're gonna take a little break from Marvel. We're not gonna take a break from recording. We're gonna pick up next week with Watchmen.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we will have a new host with us. Our friend Elle is going to be joining us as well.
Yes,
So,
the guest.
as a guest, there will be 4 of us, and we'll go from there. Get a little
So,
DC
because this
going.
wasn't chaotic enough of us talking over each other, there's going to be 4 of us talking over each other.
Right.
The added chaos because it's Watchmen might counteract the cynicalness of it. I don't know. I'm just talking out of my ass at this point because I think it's going to be hilarious.
Great.
I'm sure it will be.
Yeah, and we'll do that, and it's not nearly as long as this. Then we'll get some different things going on.
One thing I did want to mention, I did a little bit of research on the X-Wing series. I don't know if you guys are interested in that, or you still just want to do Thrawn. Either way, I'm good after this. But it does look like there is some tie-ins to Legends books, which would be interesting for you guys.
Ooh.
Okay. We'll definitely talk about it more.
Yeah.
Get it all sorted out. But again, all right. Well, thanks everybody for listening and taking this journey with us. Uh, Stay tuned next week for Watchmen. Totally different universe with a totally different blue penis.
Not entirely true from my understanding. Not entirely true. I mean,
He,
different blue penis, but not entirely true about
he's
the different universe.
different
But
universe from Marvel, yeah.
apparently they are still interconnected. My buddy was telling me that DC and Marvel are in the same, like, overall universe.
You're talking multiverse, my friend. I said different
Yeah.
universe.
So, I mean, there could be a tie-in.
I'm going to have to watch more Doctor Who if I can keep up with you two.
Hey, take a trip around the sun, man. Slingshot yourself back.
Damn it, which direction?
All right. Well, this has been Comic Book Wednesdays. Thanks everybody for listening. My name is Ian.
I'm Al.
And I'm Shane.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good
Have
night,
a good
y'all.
night.